hiding in my van. It's raining cats and dogs out there, but doesn't matter what the weather is. It's always a good time for bread. Today's loaf comes to us from the psychologist Jonathan Haidt, and it goes like this. Human rationality depends critically on sophisticated emotionality. It is only because our emotional brains work so well that our reasoning can work at all. So this is another recurring theme that I continually hammer in these videos. The dichotomy between rationality and emotionality, between reason and intuition, between thinking and feeling. It may come as a surprise to some of you, but the emotive capacity of the human animal is far more powerful, far more fundamental, and far more important. What John Haidt says here is spot on, in my opinion. We tend to lead with our hearts and then rationalize after. Or at least that's a pattern that I've noticed in my own life. And as soon as you start to question your rationalizations a little bit more intensely, you realize that they all fall apart. They're straw men that we put up there to make excuses after we've already reacted emotionally or in a knee-jerk conditioned fashion. So in a society that thinks more than it feels, I think that we should be very, very concerned. We should also be aware that the state of the world as it is now is a result of this schism between the mind and the heart. Make no mistake, both of these engines are working at the same time, whether you are aware of it or not. To say that, for instance, women are emotional and men are rational is a total misconception. Men are just as emotional as women. Women are just as rational as men. It's not a question of whether they are or aren't. The real issue here is how the thinking mind and the feeling mind work together. Because they're both working full steam ahead, whether you're aware of it or not. Emotions are the lubricant of decision making. Reason merely highlights some of the available choices. But ultimately, what makes your decision is how you feel about it. And oftentimes, what the thinking mind tells us, that this is a really bad idea, for example, doesn't jive with what we feel. And we often make decisions which we know rationally are poor ones. Because that's not what decides it for us. We're not truly led by the reasoning mind. We're led by the heart. So again, if you're not aware of this, or if you live in a society that tells you not to feel, or to feel less, or to feel differently than you feel, then there's no way that the mind and the heart are going to sync up, and you're going to be a divided person. You're not going to be whole, and there's going to be tension, and rightfully so. You have two powerful engines playing tug-of-war within you. So, as soon as you can get these two things working together in harmony, your thinking and your feeling to align, the sooner you can be a whole person and you can start to live in a more deliberate manner. But ultimately, what John Haidt is saying is that the emotion is the foundation. It's the basis. So don't neglect your feelings, your gut feelings, your intuitions, and also your emotional reactions. That doesn't mean to take them for granted or to agree that they're justified. All it means is to pay close attention to them because they are messengers from beyond, as Rumi says. Anyway, that's it for me. Live well, my friends.